welcome to another episode of Bible Answers in 5 Minutes. I'm your host, Brad. And in today's episode, we're going to address a rather peculiar question, and that is, why are there so many parts of the Bible that just seem boring to read? I mean, they're just hard. You have genealogies, and you have all these names and dates and numbers, especially in the Old Testament, kind of there in the Pentateuch, the first 5 books. Just really hard to read, all of these different things, and it's very easy to roll your eyes and skip over them. But I want to kind of just challenge you that those parts of the Bible, they're not quite as boring as they seem. And if you do a little good detective work, you might be able to glean something out of them that you may never have noticed before. So with that said, let's get started. The first example that we're going to look at is here in Genesis chapter 5. Now, after Adam and Eve and creation and Cain and Abel and sin and all these different things happen in the first 4 chapters, it's pretty exciting. But then when we come to Genesis chapter 5, we get bogged down in names and dates and birthdays and people's genealogies. It can get kind of boring. To be honest. Now, most people tend to focus on the age of these people who pre-flood, who were living centuries. Now, whether they were or not, or how was that possible, that's a conversation for another day. But I do want to point out to you just the names themselves. The names from Adam all the way down to Noah. That if you take time to read those names, and not just read them, but like study them and find out what their meaning of the name is, you can see a whole other part of the Bible like you never even thought. So here on this image, I've kind of already done the work for you. You can see that Adam's name means man, Seth's name means appointed, Enosh means mortal, Kenan means sorrow, Mahalalel means the blessed God, Jared means shall come down, Enoch means teaching or preaching, Methuselah's name means his death shall bring. That's a interesting one. And Lamech's name means the despairing, and Noah's name means rest or comfort, which is amazing because when you put all 10 of those names together, it spells out a gospel message. Think about this. Man is appointed mortal sorrow. The blessed God shall come down, preaching, teaching, that his death shall bring the despairing comfort. This is amazing because right there you have Jesus' mission statement, why he came to this world. He came and he taught that when he died, his death would bring the despairing comfort. And sure enough, that's true. Whoever believes in him shall not die but have everlasting life. That is amazing. And you can't sit there and tell me that some Jewish rabbi thousands of years ago just wrote that in there, as an extra side note. No, that just shows like the divine sovereignty of God right there in name genealogy, and that is an amazing thing, that their names spell out a gospel message, the gospel message. Now, when we skip ahead a few books to the book of Numbers, chapter 1 and 2, again, it's easy to get bogged down in all these names and numbers, and there's a whole census of how many people from each tribe and how they're supposed to camp when they sleep, and it's just very boring to read. But when you look deeper at it, you discover this amazing thing, that how it describes where the tribes are supposed to be and where they're supposed to line up, that when you kind of draw it out, when you make a diagram or a graph of how these tribes are supposed to be arranged with respect to the Ark of the Covenant being there in the middle, it creates this amazing shape. The 12 tribes arrange themselves in the shape of a cross. Could you imagine being in an airplane, 4,000 some years ago, 3,500 years ago, flying overhead and seeing hundreds of thousands of people camped out in the desert, all their campfires there and all of their tents there, and it's all in the shape of a giant cross. How amazing that is. It's speaking, it's a shadow of what was to come. That there's an amazing typology there. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this helps. So just kind of 2 examples of 2 passages that might seem a little boring and dry to read, but when you actually take the time to study them deeper, there is some amazing truths in the Bible. And there are many examples like this throughout the entire thing of Scripture. So I hope you act like good Bereans and study the Bible intently, even the parts that don't seem interesting on the surface. So that's all I've got for today. I hope you enjoyed this. Please like us on social media and give us a subscribe and a thumbs up on YouTube. Right, have a great day, and God bless. Bye.